Okay, wasn't that something, eh? Those ants. Ants on the go is what it was. Anyway, I'm off for getting some more water. And, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that, get some water, then I'm going to talk a bit about a Patreon idea that I have, and I'll probably put that up front. So, anyway, yeah, those ants or something. Anyway, Jennifer Hines, she's amazing. We had my drink. Okay, let's open this valve. See, there's a valve here that I shut the pipe off so that, because it flows a little low right now. And, let's get up a little closer. And, the thing is, if I forget to open it, then I have to come all the way back up. Because this is a fairly major line that goes into the cisterns that feed water into the houses and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so now, because I'm close, I can talk about the Patreon. So, tick, 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 tick. Hey, hello, how's it going? Okay, so I'm doing this a bit differently now. I'm going to talk about this thing I've set up with Patreon and PayPal right up front. So I've pondered having a Patreon account and giving people the option if they wanted to contribute a little bit of money to my projects and stuff, and because in connection with these videos. And for a while, I've been doing these for 4 years, so it's a fair while, and I just decided, you know what, I think I'm going to try it and see how it goes. So I'm going to I've set up a Patreon account. I'm going to put like links and comments, and I'll probably up front and up back I'll do titles with links and stuff like that. And at the moment, I'm thinking the whatever I can raise through Patreon and donations, I'm going to put towards kendo stuff. I don't know how else to put it. I live on a very limited income, but I'm not complaining. I live a great life, and I pretty much never go hungry. But anyway, it's what it is. I love my life here. Like, it's the best time of my entire life. But I do have issues with money. Anyway, so for the time being, I'm thinking all the money I raise through Patreon and donations through PayPal, I'm going to put towards kendo stuff, right? It's, the bogu, which is the protective equipment I've had for like 27 years, it's kind of time to get a new set, I'm thinking, So I'm going to put money aside for that. That stuff's quite expensive, and also whatever I raise will go towards gradings. Hopefully we have a big grading coming up in December. Usually it's in December if the world hasn't dissolved by then. And I'll be going for 4th Dan, and also for tournaments. And I was supposed to be in Canada at the end of last July for the national championships, right? But of course that was cancelled because of COVID. So hopefully they'll be doing that again, and if I can raise enough to get myself to the national championships, that would be awesome. We'll see how it goes, But anyway, mostly that's what it will be used for, and and also simple things like just paying for gas to go to kendo practice. Laurent Garcia and I, we share we lead and teach the classes together. I mean, not always together, but we share the duties of that at Lana Kendo. And so anyway, just little things like paying for gas on my motorbike to get there. All these little things. Anyway, that's my idea. And if it gets to the point where it's a little bit more, then maybe I could invest in things like stuff for the videos, right? Like maybe I could invest in higher quality cameras and audio things. Because right now I use my old iPhone, I think it's the iPhone 5, to do all my videoing. But it works okay, right? I'm fine with it staying this way. But I'm just thinking, yeah, maybe that could be good, I'd really love to get something, because I do all these part of my videos, I'm always walking on the trail, right? It's always like bump, 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 bump. I think, I bet you there's some gizmo I can use that can, like a steady cam kind of thing, right? Anyway, we'll see where all that goes. But for now, it's, my thinking is I'll put it towards kendo stuff. And kendo's a big part of my life. I've been practicing for quite a long time. And yeah. For those that don't know, since this is a really kendo related thing, podcast, okay, cut. For those that don't know, I practice at a place called Lana Kendo in Chiang Mai. And it's mostly kids, but we have some adults as well, and guests come and stuff. And it's a really amazing place run by a Korean charity, and a lot of the kids are Hill Tribe kids, and it's an orphanage, right? So the kids live right next door. I've never been to a dojo like it, right? Very special. Anyway, I don't want to go into, I don't want to spend too much time on that. It's just a great place. Anyway, so that's that. It's the Patreon. I'll put, whenever I do these videos, I'm going to put links to Patreon. And if you don't want to do a Patreon thing, which I think is, you can set your own amount, which is like a per month thing. You can do a donation, and I'll do that through the PayPal. So I'll put links to both. And yeah, if you feel like wanting to contribute, that's awesome. But also, if you know, if you don't want to, that's fine too. And if you don't have any money, don't. If you don't have much money, don't. Just don't. I do these videos. Why do I do these videos? It's a meditation on usually these videos are kind of a meditation on water, which translates really to the essence of living and connection with nature. Is really what it's about, right? And it's directly symbolized by water. Water in a plastic jug. Because life's full of contradictions and hypocrisies. Isn't it true, right? But anyway, do what you can, right? Anyway, so I'm going to continue on. And from here, I'm going to jump. Yeah, those answer something, eh? Okay, here we go. Water walk. Alright. Okay, how are we doing? Well, as usual, it's a little crooked. How's that? Is that alright? Are we alright? I guess it'll do. Welcome to Mekampong Water Walks. Today is Tuesday. Quite often I come up on Tuesday. And right now I'm not using as much water as, say, I might during the hot season, but a lot of my walks are, I come up when it looks like a really good window of no rain. And today is it, or so it seems. Hard to predict sometimes because, you know, weather forecasts are unpredictable for here. But if you've seen my other water walks, you might know this already. But I don't like to come up, well, in the pouring rain because it's wet and whatever, but also because the trails are really slippery. And also, my feeling is with water coming off the surface of the ground into there's a little pool just behind me here that collects the water, then it comes down this pipe. So it's only about 10 feet behind me. That I don't want to collect my water from water that's flowing into the little pool from the ground, you know. You never know what bacteria and stuff there. It might be good bacteria, right? But it might not. So better safe than sorry on that account. I reckon. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're full in the rainy season now. It's like, I think it's August 10th or so. And yep, it's a rainy season now. For a while there, like in June, and parts of July too, I'm like, where's the rainy season? And I was trying to make a joke in Thai, right? Like I would say, Na Phong Yu Ti Nai, which in my head means rainy season, where is it? But I don't think the joke quite translates. Or in English you might say, hey, I'm looking for the rainy season, have you seen it around anywhere? And I don't know. I think I asked my friend Kung if I can make a joke like that, and she's just like, yeah, I don't think so. Well, humor is that way, with different cultures. It's often said that humor is the most difficult thing to learn. But in spite of that, in spite of my steadily growing, slowly, but still very limited Thai language skills, I still manage to laugh a lot with people. You see, and that is beyond language. That is just good-spirited living, right? Can laugh at the foibles of life without even saying a word sometimes. And you might have noticed, these days there's a lot to sort of do that multi-layered laughing at, I think. What a year! Jesus. What a year. My brother is locked in Da Nang in Vietnam. I'm going to see if I can chat with him later. And he went to Da Nang for a vacation. You know, because his school's finished in Ho Chi Minh City. So I'm going to go to Da Nang, and I'll rent a motorbike and ride up in the mountains when the weather's nicer, and boom, there's like 3 cases, and they lock everything down. So then he was locked into the place he was living for 14 days. I'm like, oh my god, poor guy. Anyway, he's a trooper, so I'm sure he's fine, but nonetheless, that's a bit rough, eh? I would go nuts, right? I'm not like, I don't mind being locked down in the forest, right? But that's not really being locked down, is it? I suppose. Yeah, anyway. Onwards. 1 bottle full. Yeah, so those that are new, this is kind of this is a slightly different water walk, because as you've seen earlier, I talked about setting up my Patreon account, which actually I'm going to talk about after this bottle's full, but I'm going to cut it and put it in front, just in case no one gets this far. I'm not paranoid. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to start changing the format a little bit, but not much. Be pretty much the same meandering weirdness. Ooh, is this leaking? Oh no, we're okay. Well, oh no, it is leaking. Shoot, what's going on? That's not good. I might need to get, this is my oldest bottle, it's like 4 years old. You know, even plastic. Let's see. Let's test this out. Tighten it up good and tight. Ah, it's okay. Yeah, okay. So what are the latest things going on? Well, there's been plenty of interesting things going on in the Arctic, right? Like Arctic sea ice, and also a big ice shelf collapse in Ellesmere Island. A couple of small ice caps just poof disappeared. Ellesmere Island is like I think it's the most northerly of the Canadian Arctic islands. You know, there might be little ones more north, but I think it's the furthest north major one. If I'm not correct. And yeah. so the Arctic sea ice is extremely, the area is small, but more importantly, the volume is greatly reduced and breaking up, you know, the ice thickness, you know. And Jennifer Hines has done a couple of really great little chats and posts on Facebook and whatnot, and she was pointing out that she could see a line from the Lena River, or Lena River, I think Lena probably, which is, I think it's the easternmost major river in Siberia, coming out, and you can see that warm water cutting right through the Arctic sea ice, all to the, right across to the Canadian archipelago. In that, it's the ice in Siberia is pretty much all gone, right? It's quite a huge area of open water. But on the Canadian side, it's still, that's where the last of the thick ice is in the Arctic Ocean. But she's saying, oh, I can see how that line of warm water is cutting through and thinning out that line of ice right in that spot, you know. It's amazing. But, you know, this time of year, I do spend a fair bit of time having a look at the state of the Arctic sea ice. I think it was the Finnish Prime Minister? Finnish scientist? I don't know. Someone fairly, you know, not just Joe Blow in Finland, saying that something akin to where the Arctic ice goes, so goes the rest of the world. Meaning that the thoughts are that the function that Arctic sea ice plays on the weather systems of the world is quite huge, quite large. Which makes sense to me. I mean, at the same time, I also think, well, actually, we don't really know. There's unprecedented times, you know, in human history, human existence, say. But yeah, so I'm keeping eyes on there. And Jennifer, I'll link Jennifer Hines' Facebook page in the comments. And there's lots of people that you can follow if you're interested in this stuff. But she's really up on this stuff, and she's done a couple of really great videos on methane, Arctic methane, Arctic related methane. Not just, anyway, it's the methane monster videos. Great videos. Highly recommend. Hey, you know, at the beginning I mentioned the Patreon stuff and what I'm doing with the videos and water walks. I also do videos of often when I'm hiking up in the mountains, right? So it's not just water walks, but I like to do videos of the nature here, basically up in the mountains, and you know, it kind of gives people a little taste of what it's like here. Maybe a bit of solace for those that are in the city and maybe want to get out in the bush, you know. Maybe, hopefully, not envy triggering. Anyway, yeah. So that's the other kind of videos that I do as well, you know. And, I don't know. I feel like there's a bit of a shift going on in terms of the small one with the videos. I'll keep doing the water walks, and maybe I can make it more of a thing, right? And so part of that, which is interesting, I'm feeling motivated a bit with the idea of doing this Patreon donation thing. It says, oh, well, if I do that and people give me money, then I should do more. You know, maybe I could do some other things, you know? Maybe people would like to see that. Anyway, yeah, so let's switch this and, yeah, you can look at the trail. There's the trail. Hey, do you hear that sound? Wow, eh? There's some incredible sounds here all the time. Insect sounds, bird sounds, water sounds. Kind of fills my heart, you know. I'm quite aware of the diminishment of natural ecosystems and all that, and insect populations, right? It's a big one. Lots of evidence of that having some severe, I don't want to say diminishment, but collapse might be a better word even. But you know, also when I hear these sounds of insects, no doubt where I live is under a lot of stress too, right? Like everywhere else in the world, pretty much. But nonetheless, it kind of fills my heart to hear these insects singing away, and the incredible rhythms, you know, of it. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, we should look at this. More of these ants, eh? Can you see that? There we go. These are different ants than when I was coming up. Those ants are just passed by. Incredible. Actually, these might be the same ants traveling down. Maybe, I don't know. Isn't that something, eh? I've had many moments where, living up here especially, I thought, oh, man, if the ants wanted to take over the world, I don't think they'd have much trouble. You know what I mean? They're just like, well, they work hard. Not afraid of hard work. Also, there's a lot of them. They're small, but there's a lot of them. And they all think as one, I think, right? Like, I don't know. Do we think as one too, as humans? We do a little, eh? Sometimes. Sometimes not so. And sometimes so. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, we're back. Hey, Shoot. I swear to God I had something to say. I got distracted by the beautiful nature. It has nothing to do with me being losing my memory. Yeah. I was thinking, actually I didn't really forget, anyway, it's a really strange time, eh? I mean, that's about the most obvious thing you can say, I suppose. But, it's really fascinating. And a little bit unnerving and disturbing, I guess. And things are in real shift, eh? And stuff around the COVID, for sure. But not just, you know? Not just. But spinning around it. Don't know. Be really interested if anyone has any thoughts on this sort of aspect, you know, please feel free to write in the comments, you know. I'd be really interested to hear what other people are thinking and seeing. And we're in the wet spot. It's like a little river here. It's a trail, but it's really a river right now. So I'm wearing my rubber boots. Yeah, you know, of course I often relate things to stuff around connection to the natural world, right? And part of me wonders, or thinks maybe even, a great deal of this, all this stuff going on, you know. how connected they are, you know? Black Lives Matter, Antifa, COVID, alt-right, all the different things that are bursting forth, and outrage culture, cancel culture, all this stuff, right? Identity politics. Holy shit. Yeah, you know, did you hear that? That sends a shiver up my back, eh? When I hear that sort of thing. Everyone says, well, are you afraid of snakes? Oh yeah, of course. We got big snake. We got snakes here, like vipers of different sorts and cobras and. But you know, I kind of keep to myself, right? So far, no big problems with snakes. But you know what? Stuff falling from the trees. That's really unpredictable. Other than not camping under a big dead tree, it's hard to predict that stuff. Yeah. Oh. That's how. I don't know. I don't know what that looked like when that big branch came down, but that's how, I suspect that's how I always respond. Holy shit! Oh, duck! Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know about the. There's a lot of turmoil and upheaval, you know, and my sort of go-to thing on this is, oh, this is kind of an existential expression of the basic long-term, although timing's tricky, long-term issue of general ecosystem degradation and collapse, right? Long-term modern disconnection with the natural world. I don't know, right? Of course I can't know. But I wonder if a lot of this stuff is coming out of that as its true base, right? Because it seems to me a lot of that stuff is not much to do with logical thinking or data or what's actually happening, you know? There's people speaking out about stuff like that, and that's great, like Brett Weinstein, Heather Heim, Coleman Hughes, oh, there's a whole bunch, anyway. Whole bunch. But, man, it's interesting times. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, yeah, so that's the water walk for today. If this is your first one, this seems pretty typical. Pretty meandering. It's maybe a bit of a goal or a bit of a focus, but often a nebulous focus. If you'd like to contribute to my Patreon account, which I can say now, please do so. And if you'd like to do a one-off donation, you can do it through PayPal. Please do so. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do so. And if you'd like to click that little bell thing, you can get a notice for all these freaking wild, well, they're not that wild videos. Please do so. Anyway, hope everyone's doing great. Spirits up, eh? And Al Pushen. And I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, ciao. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do a final shot. Oh, you know what I'll do? Here's what I'll do. I'll do a final shot of the woods at this spot, and then I can lay over my Patreon / PayPal web addresses over it.